Welcome and thanks for joining today's web broadcast. I attended a Gartner conference about a month ago, and this fantastic researcher, Regina Casonato, was talking about big data, the business value of information innovation, and all sorts of exciting things that are happening in the business world today. She said something that I thought was really quite profound. She said, "I'm really happy to welcome you to the information age. The information age starts now." And I thought this was a really weird statement because companies like IBM were in the IT and database management business over 50 years ago. Certainly it's a bit odd to hear someone welcome us to something half a century into it and then tell us it's about to start. Businesses around the world spend billions of dollars collecting and managing their data every single year, and yet somehow the people who knock on our doors every day still struggle with the same problems they had years and countless gigabytes and IT initiatives ago. How is this happening? Why do we still hear things like drowning in data, analysis paralysis, information overload, information silos, and I spend all of my time putting reports together rather than analyzing the data? How many of us can actually say that we feel completely in sync with our business? That the minute we're about to miss our targets, without having to do any work, we automatically get alerted on our devices. And beyond our four walls, how many of us out there have a great pulse on our customer experience, competitive developments, or our supply chain? I don't imagine many of us can. Studies indicate that very few of us can. Why is this happening? How is it that with all of the mobile devices we carry with us, we still somehow feel disconnected from our businesses? Many of us carry around multiple devices, smartphones, tablets, and laptops. My iPad has a higher resolution than my high-def TV, and my LTE connection is insanely fast. You'd think that by now we should have figured out how to consume data intravenously. We have the technology, so why is it that the massive amounts of data we've spent billions collecting and storing are now somehow a liability, it seems, rather than an incredible asset? How do we harness that richness without summarizing and watering things down to the point where they're hardly useful? Information has always been around, and its role in our lives will only continue to increase. This is not a speculative market. It's an inevitable one. We don't have to wonder whether or not it'll improve your business, because it will. A company that has a better information strategy will outperform the market and outperform its competitors. So I think Regina's statement is spot on. The information age is in its infancy because there's still so much more to do. Back in September, we released a new vision of mobile business intelligence out to our customers. And so far, the results have been fantastic. We've got an incredible team here at Dundas that put a lot of work into this. So I'm really excited and honored to be unveiling it to the world. Today, we're going to show you a new mobile product that has transformed how our customers interact with information. It's called Dundas Mobile, and it'll allow you to stay connected to your data whenever you need it, wherever you go. It'll make your life easier, it will reduce uncertainty, and it will help you make better decisions. It's an enormous competitive advantage to have. And what's awesome is it ships with Dundas Dashboard, which, as you'll see later, is crucial to making this all work. But here's the thing, mobile BI is not a new thing. Certainly there are many products out there, but they all suffer from one key problem. They all have shameful adoption levels. They aren't really being used, at least not pervasively. Today, Dundas is going to show you one that you're going to want to use. I've been using it for a while, and I can't imagine life without it. Here it is. It's beautiful, it's super customizable, it's very powerful, and it's easy to use. It works on tablets, smartphones, laptops, desktops, all of the latest devices and browsers. I'll do a hands-on walkthrough in just a bit. But the breakthroughs we're making today have a lot to do with where we started almost 20 years ago. In 1994, we launched one of the first data visualization products for Windows, Ultimate Grid. Ultimate Grid gave software developers the power to create dynamic and interactive tables that featured charts and graphs. In '97, we brought Ultimate Grid into the mobile world, onto handheld or palm-sized PCs. Way ahead of its time, way before smartphones became popular. Between 2000 and 2006, Dundas played a huge role in kickstarting the dashboard and business intelligence revolution of the mid-2000s. We released 3 groundbreaking products that changed everything: Dundas Chart, Dundas Gauge, and Dundas Map. These products gave software developers enormous power in creating beautiful and interactive visualizations that were hooked up to live data sources. Millions of people have since used our products. We have over 50,000 customers across more than 150 countries. Software developers love using our stuff. Microsoft loved it so much, they acquired our IP and incorporated our tech into their own products. So, even if you've never heard of Dundas before, there's a pretty good chance that you've encountered our work without even knowing it. Then, in 2009, we released Dundas Dashboard. This truly is a revolutionary product. We've taken the notion that only software developers can create these amazing visualizations, and we threw it out the window. We took all of our R&D, along with years of consulting experience, and put it into the hands of business workers, folks who use Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. All of these products were designed to further a single purpose: to make our world a more informed place by helping people see and understand the data that they need to make better decisions. We think it's an enormously powerful idea for business, and we think it's essential for society. So over the last 20 years, we've really revolutionized how the world uses information. Visualizations and graphics are no longer fancy and optional alternatives to tables and numbers. They too are inevitable. They are the inevitable business communication language of the future. They make sense because they conform to the way our brains work. It's simple. And the goal of business intelligence is also incredibly simple. We need to do whatever it takes to make sure you have the information and insight you need to make better decisions faster. We need to help you take actions that have reasonably predictable outcomes. And now with prescriptive analytics, we can actually tell you what you might want to do to achieve favorable outcomes and business objectives. We believe that business intelligence isn't just for executives or data analysts. Business intelligence is for everyone. This is not a niche market. Our target market is everyone around the world. It knows no boundaries. So if mobile BI is so great, why doesn't everyone have it already? Let's take a look at a few reasons why we don't think people are using the tools at their disposal today. I think there are 3 big ones: design, integration, and relevance. So let's talk about design. Well, here's where the industry is trending towards with BI, particularly with dashboards. Simplify, right? Well, here's simple. A big traffic light. Everything is okay. Here's the thing. I wholeheartedly agree with simplicity. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." But let's not confuse our desire to make things simple with the danger of oversimplifying the realities of the business. The fact is that business is complicated, and with all of this data, it's getting more complicated every day. But our goal in business intelligence is not to ignore this complexity. Business intelligence allows you to make this complexity manageable. It tames it, but it does not ignore it. The problem is, how do we help people process all of this information? It's just too much. Even your biggest smartphone has a tiny screen compared to your computer monitor. Let's just roll all of it up into one big number, right? Or even better, a traffic light. Don't worry, everything is okay. Less is more, right? Well, wrong. As crazy as it sounds, when it comes to information as a critical component of business strategy and operations, more is more. Why else would you collect all of that data? The part that stumps everybody is that the last mile of the information journey is your brain. Our brains are actually able to process patterns even before we start thinking about them. It's pre-attentive. It even happens before cognition. So a big traffic light with a summary is a waste of space, and it just won't work. Now, I'm giving you an extreme example to make a point, but this speaks to the reality of what this industry is doing today. 22 years ago, Edward Tufte, known by many as the godfather of information graphics, quite the polarizing figure, wrote that when it comes to designing data presentations, a most unconventional design strategy is revealed to clarify, add detail. Let's not just summarize everything. Many of us look at financial and sports data in the newspaper every day. These sections are packed with information and detail. The detail paints a complete story, a story that you need to understand your business better. We are smart enough to be able to handle more than just a couple of traffic lights. There are huge opportunities for innovation here. In fact, we can show you hundreds of data points all in a single glance without overwhelming you. These so-called micro-visualizations or spark lines, data bars, and bullet graphs have been around for decades. We had them in Ultimate Grid back in the 90s. If and only if we use design principles that have been proven for decades, presenting more data will increase clarity, speed up the decision-making process, and actually reduce work. You don't have to open every door to find out what's behind it. Great designs will point to the few that actually deserve your time. That's the whole point of a dashboard, the most critical things I need to achieve my objectives at a glance. I'm busy, don't make me work for it or drill down through endless layers on some tiny device and switch from one screen to the next. These aren't toys anymore, they are real line of business tools for professionals. So, let's show you what this looks like. For the purposes of today's webinar, I'll be doing this demo in an iPad simulator on my Mac. We've tried a few live video options in the past, and unfortunately with webinar resolutions, it makes things a bit difficult to read. This simulator makes it a lot easier to see what's on the screen, and it behaves exactly the same way on a real iPad or any mobile device. This is Dundas Mobile. You're looking at our home screen. It's beautiful, it's simple, and most importantly, it's functional. We've branded it with the colors and logo of a fictitious company just to show how extensively things can be customized. Now, you don't have to do this. Dundas Mobile already looks great out of the gate. This fictitious company is called Swiss Chocolatier, and it's a consumer packaged goods company that sells in multiple channels nationally. These rectangles are called tiles, and each tile shows you a summary of a dashboard, a report, a subject area, or anything that's of interest to you. They are designed to rapidly give you an overview of your business. In a sense, our home screen is designed to work just like a dashboard. In this example, we use color to indicate that some areas warrant attention. The red ones draw your attention immediately to the 3 areas that will likely be of interest to you. Here, we're behind pace on some of our sales targets. There are 13 important products that are at risk of selling out in some stores or regions. Some of our stores are drawing in so much volume that perhaps our displays warrant more space on the retail floor. Well, why are we using tiles? We're not using them because they're trendy. We use tiles because they are so much more powerful than icons. Icons are just pictures that don't really tell you anything. They're easy to use on touch devices, but otherwise they're quite a waste of space. Many of our customers have dozens upon dozens of dashboards. Imagine scrolling through pages and pages of icons without any sort of direction as to which ones you need to be looking at right now. Dundas Mobile isn't just another app. This is a business intelligence app. This app is all about data. So we decided to use tiles because a great mobile BI home screen shouldn't just be there for navigation. A truly effective home screen should show you your world at a glance. These tiles aren't just pictures. They are vector graphics that stay sharp when you zoom in, and they're connected to live data sources. When the data updates, Dundas Mobile will update as well. This tile, Net Sales by Category, shows you hundreds of data points and gives you a 12-month trend across all of your product categories, as well as a pacing indicator to show you how each of them are pacing versus your targets and your goals. We're a little bit behind on occasions. You can see how you're doing everywhere else, but occasions sticks out like a sore thumb. Perhaps we should take a closer look at that. So when you tap on a tile, it'll take you to a bigger or more detailed view of the report. At the top of this report, we've got a month-by-month summary of how we're doing dollars-wise across the board. These reports are completely interactive. Let's get a better year-to-date view by tapping on cumulative percentage. And here you'll see there was a bit of softness earlier in the year, but overall we're doing quite all right. But let's take a closer look at occasions specifically. You can see here that we're a bit all over the map. If we normalize the target and look at it in terms of percentages, we can see that things were a bit rough earlier in the year. And then if we switch to the cumulative view, you can see that we're still a bit behind year to date. You can connect as many data sources as you need. Databases like SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, Access, Cubes, data source from Google Analytics, Salesforce, social media APIs, or even just flat files and Excel spreadsheets. The tiles will adjust according to your device's orientation, and each tile again points to a larger, more detailed piece of content. The content is rich, visual, and fully interactive. And here's the real magic behind Dundas Dashboard. The visuals, tiles, everything you see here can be created by business users and sourced from content that's provided by and maintained by IT. I'll talk about that later. We provide personalized training, customized to your specific needs and challenges. We also have highly specialized professional services teams here in our office that can do everything for you. Back to the home screen. A great home screen should only contain tiles that are relevant to you. So let's get rid of all of these tiles by clicking on Customize and start from scratch. Businesses, strategies, and situations change, and your home screen should be able to easily change as well. Changing your home screen is super easy. On the top right, you can tap on the Explore icon to navigate to our mobile Explorer. This is where you can access all of the content that's available to you. It works with your existing security infrastructure so that people will only see what they're allowed to see based on how your security is set up. If you've got a lot of content, you can do a search. Our project button will help you navigate to different projects if you have more than one. These reports are listed according to the folders they're organized in. Here we've grouped all of our content by functional area, like marketing or sales. Tap on an icon to navigate to a report. This bubble chart shows us our high demand products, and the stars on the left indicate ones that are exclusive to certain retailers. We can click on the different logos to toggle through each of them. Let's say that this sell-through report is something you're really going to want to keep an eye on. Tap on the pin button at the top, and a sell-through summary will appear on your home screen. So if we go back to the home screen, you'll see a small summary of our sell-through situation. We've designed this one to turn red and alert us if we have some important products that are about to sell out. So every time somebody creates a dashboard, they can create a concise summary or abstract that will be used as a tile. It shouldn't just be a summary of the number. It should be done in a way that allows people to manage by exception. If nothing is wrong, sure, just show me a summary. But if something requires my attention, make it obvious. And you can make these tiles as big or as small as you want. If you go back to the Explorer, you can tap on Customize and quickly add tiles to your home screen. Sometimes you'll have the option to choose from more than one tile. Perhaps there are different ways to summarize this content. Now that all the tiles are back on the home screen, simply click on Customize and move the tiles around to sort them to your liking or according to how important they are. And just like that, you have a home screen that gives you a real-time snapshot of your business. You can customize and choose how you want things to appear. It's self-service at its simplest. It feels so much like a consumer app that you don't really have to think about using it. And that's exactly what we wanted. The less you have to think about using the app, the more you can focus on the data and what it's telling you. That, to us, is great design. It's entirely focused on content. So back to the 3 problems. Design. It's beautiful, it's efficient, and it's effective. It shows you your world at a glance. It allows you to do some self-service by choosing what you want to see, how you want to see it, and customizing your home screen. It helps you manage by exception by only calling out the things that critically need your attention. Problem number 2, integration. Right now, BI is primarily used as a pull system as opposed to a push system, meaning if you want to use it, it's up to you to pull up the application, the dashboard, or whatever form of reporting you need. But what those of us in this business tend to forget is that BI is not an end to itself. Business intelligence in itself is not a business outcome. Driving growth, optimizing product offerings, reducing enterprise costs, expanding into new markets, increasing profits, ensuring compliance, improving governance, these are real business outcomes. Business intelligence enables you to get these outcomes. People don't just want dashboards for the sake of having dashboards, and people don't want BI for the sake of having BI. So to me, it's hardly surprising to see that people aren't actively opening up dashboards on their phones to see what's going on. It's a real battle to get people to adopt BI as yet another thing to have to do, another app to use, or another environment to get acquainted with. For BI to work, it needs to be integrated seamlessly into an environment that's already pervasive and well adopted. Dundas Dashboard isn't just something that works in a silo. It works with your existing security environment. You can embed Dundas into any web application. You can integrate web parts into SharePoint. And crucially, you can get notifications and alerts sent straight to your inbox. Now, the last thing people want is to be needlessly saturated with more emails. But emails do work, particularly when they're useful. When are they useful? They're useful when, well, you need to be alerted of something. When a number or a KPI goes beyond a certain threshold. When something's been sitting in the pipe for more than 30 days. With Dundas Dashboard, you can set up and customize your own alerts so that you get pinged when you want to get pinged, when something important comes up. Or you can set it as a reminder to check your numbers whenever new data comes in, or every Monday at 8 before your management meeting. Facebook does this to drive adoption. You get notifications based on events that are likely going to be of interest to you. This is going to be hugely important for BI because it turns something that has been traditionally pulled into something that's just pushed to you. And email is an excellent vehicle for push BI because it's something that you already use and it's already pervasive. It goes straight to your inbox, your phone buzzes, you check the email, and it includes a link that you tap on to go straight to the report that gives you more detail. Alert, our stock levels on some key products are going critical in this region for these stores. Click or tap on this link to find out what you need to know in order to do something about it. So we have beautiful, efficient, and effective design. We have this app integrated seamlessly into your daily life. It doesn't create work, it significantly reduces work and increases productivity. So let's talk about relevance. This is easily the most important factor in making business intelligence successful because it's very simple. If the data you're looking at isn't relevant to your specific needs, then it isn't useful and it won't be used. End of story. This happens everywhere today because IT is often the team that's saddled with doing all of the work. For business intelligence to be successful, business users must have the power to create their own content. This is a team sport. Both IT and business participants must be able to collaborate. It's one thing to make the data available and accurate, but it's an entirely different thing to present it effectively. IT has an important and powerful role to play in the BI equation, but they aren't the ones who should be creating and supporting and maintaining all of the content. One of my clients told me this: help me get IT out of the business of creating content. It's driving me crazy, it's killing us, and it's not fair to IT. How many times in business do we wish we could get a report delivered in a certain way that's easy to use, only for us to find some way to dump the data into Excel and PowerPoint just so we can wrangle with it ourselves. Here's why it happens. Let's take a look at the landscape of business intelligence tools out there today. On the vertical line, we have power, and on the horizontal line, let's look at ease of use. Today, we have a few tools out there that are really quite powerful, but they're also incredibly difficult to use. If you're not a developer, you don't have a chance. Then we have some tools that are easy enough for business users to use, but they aren't flexible enough to work with your existing security infrastructure. The way they handle the data may be unacceptable to IT. They might work well in some situations, but not others. And the bottom line is they aren't powerful enough to be truly viable. And then you have a bunch of tools that are truly awful, aren't at all powerful, and yet somehow are incredibly difficult to use. We know it's possible to have something that's both powerful and easy to use. We solved this problem back in 2009 with Dundas Dashboard. How have we done that? Well, Dundas Dashboard allows IT and business users to each do what they do best. It gives IT the power to figure out the architecture and supporting infrastructure. It makes it safe for IT to provide business users with access to live data sources so they don't need to keep on pulling it for them. Instead of turning BI into the Wild West where there are 1,000 versions of the truth, IT can help make sure the data is trustworthy and accurate. Data governance is on the minds of CEOs and CIOs everywhere. Make sure you give the right people the power they need to ensure the data is well governed. And of course, all of this power makes it imperative that we take security very seriously. If we can do all of that, this allows business folks to create their own content. And so we can be sure if they take the time to do it, it'll be important to them. They can choose how they want the data to be presented, which visualizations, which tables, how it's sliced and diced, which formulas are applied. It'll give them more time to actually analyze what's in front of them. They'll be able to share it with others, and now use it on any device. And because they have this power, they'll be able to keep up with the ever-increasing pace of business. It's very simple, but it's a powerful concept that does not oversimplify the realities of business. Here's where all the development in Dundas Dashboard happens. It's in a web browser. We've got a bunch of data that's already been organized and made available by IT. It's been verified by folks who are good at ensuring data integrity. It's optimized by folks who are good at optimizing it, and it works with your existing security infrastructure. And very quickly, with some dragging and dropping, we can create beautiful and interactive content that's updated whenever there's new data. We have themes and styles you can use, or you can create your own. And we offer all sorts of training that you can customize to your own needs. By the way, if you're a software developer, you can really go to town on this stuff. If you're not a developer, please excuse the next 30 seconds of jargon. I'm not exaggerating. By far, this is the most flexible and customizable dashboard platform there is out there. It's got a graphical development environment, a powerful scripting engine, a whole bunch of open APIs. It exports to HTML5, so it's cross-platform and compatible with all the latest browsers, and you can customize the CSS and the JavaScript. So we make it super easy to create your own content, but it's powerful at the same time. Powerful enough to give software developers a ton of latitude in developing custom solutions. Once you're finished, you can publish it out to the world or to specific people. And once you refresh your mobile app, you'll see the new dashboard there. Quick, painless, and simple. So we think the number one reason mobile BI isn't pervasive today is because the content they have is neither relevant nor adequate. The software needs to be powerful enough to handle the complex realities of business, but simple enough for business users to be able to use. Both IT and business users need to be able to collaborate on BI for it to work. And we've solved that simply by harnessing a technology that's available today, Dundas Dashboard. One more thing, Dundas Dashboard also works on older browsers and operating systems. This is especially important for some organizations that are running on Windows XP and browsers like IE6 or IE7. What happens when you create a dashboard or report is that the dashboard can be rendered in both Silverlight and HTML5. Silverlight is a Microsoft technology that works on Windows XP and up, as well as OS X for Mac. It'll work on IE6 only if you're using XP, IE7, Firefox 3, Chrome 4, as well as Safari 3. So Dundas Dashboard supports all of the latest mobile and desktop browsers, as well as many of the older ones. So, to summarize, we've taken the three main barriers to BI adoption, and we've created compelling answers to all of them. Design. It's powerful, it's efficient, and it's effective. It doesn't force you to think about that extra step. Integration. It conforms and adapts to your daily life. We're going to make it seamless and easy to adopt BI into our existing lives by turning it into a push system. Email notifications are just one example of that. Relevance. The content needs to be relevant and the data needs to be interesting. We're going to do that by giving business users the power to create their own content. It's beautiful. It keeps you in sync with the pulse of your business. It's an awesome competitive advantage to have. You can take it wherever you go. It doesn't oversimplify the complexity of your business, and it does that by reducing unnecessary work. There are tens of thousands of hours of R&D and research spanning 2 decades built into here, but it's breathtakingly simple at the end of the day. And that's exactly what we wanted it to be. So that's the end of my presentation. I'm going to answer a few questions shortly, but in case you need to go, here's some contact information. For general inquiries, you can always email info@dundas.com or call 1-800-463-1492. Now, this isn't just some generic info@ email. We've got a great team at Dundas that fields emails that go through here. You can also reach out to me at nelson@dundas.com. Thanks again for watching.